he still wonders, sometimes, if he's really cut out for this. Even after 12 years, Keisuke Matsubayashi grew up in this workshop, running around between his father's legs, while the older man carved wood. His father, Setsuo, had been doing this since before Keisuke was born, one of the most respected Kumiko craftsmen in Nagano. But at 16, Keisuke had to leave school. Health problems. Then came years of drifting. Part-time jobs, no direction, no plan. Then at 20, he made a quiet decision. He didn't go to his father to learn. He went to his father's master. The same teacher, the same workshop, 12 years apart. Father and son, students of the same man. This is the story of a young man who had nothing figured out, and the ancient craft that gave him a reason to keep going. Nagano Prefecture. In the old days, this land was called Shinano. It was one of the only fertile lands within the Shinetsu region. Once, Takeda Shingen and Uesugi Kenshin fought in this land, in the so-called Kawanaka-jima battle. It is said that one of Shingen's vassals, after missing out on an attack against Kenshin, opened a hole in the center of a rock, out of frustration. Standing near the ancient battlefield is the Saka Fixtures Workshop. Here, there are many youngsters trying to carry on the Kumiko tradition into the future. This is the Kumiko craftsman, Keisuke Matsubayashi. Kumiko craftsmanship refers to the technique in which large and small pieces of wood are arranged in a pattern inside a wooden structure to create an ornament. When speaking of sliding doors, there's Kumiko, and the craft adorning these is called Kumiko craftsmanship, or simply Kumiko. It's one of the remaining traditional techniques for creating fixtures. Matsubayashi looks up to Saka Workshop's leader, Mr. Eiichi Yokota. Mr. Yokota started learning the fixtures trade when he was just 15 years old. However, he knew he couldn't survive just by making simple fixtures. As a result, he learned Kumiko in order to elevate his craft. 10 years later, at the ripe age of 25, he opened Sakai Fixtures Workshop, and with 50 years of experience, he has even helped in the repair of important cultural properties of Japan. Furthermore, he has received the Japanese Medal of Honor for excellence in his craft. Under his guidance, Matsubayashi has accumulated 12 years of experience.
新しい壁にぶつかるたびに葛藤してますけど、今でも向いてないんじゃないかなって思う時もごく稀にですけどあります。全くないと言ったら嘘になりますけど。
Matsubayashi, who still sometimes has doubts, did not originally want to become a Kumiko craftsman. Born in Nagano, Matsubayashi was initially a lively kid. However, a year into high school, he was forced to quit due to health problems. After that, he spent his days working part-time jobs. Eventually, at 20, he made a big decision.
本当に後先考えずに、父親にちょっとやってみたいんだけどって頼んで、そこから親方に話してもらって、ここに入れさせてもらいました。
As a matter of fact, Matsubayashi's father, Mr. Setsuo, is Mr. Eiichi Yokota's first apprentice. Keisuke is his 12th. The Matsubayashi father and son duo are also brothers under the same teacher.
やっぱ兄弟子じゃないですか。大先輩じゃないですか。でもその前にやっぱ親父っていうのがあるので、やっぱ反発したり、それで喧嘩したりっていうのがあったんですけど、最近もうほとんどなくなりましたけど。
Keisuke often played in the workshop as a kid, but this was his first time using a shaving plane. It was nothing but a string of confusions at the time. However, his teacher didn't miss Keisuke's progress.
半年ぐらい経つと手伝いさせることができるんです。で、そうするとね、一つのものが作ったなという実感が湧いてくるんだね。作る実感が湧いてくるとそれは目つき変わってきます。それは悪いなりにね、うまくいかねえなっていうのはみんなそうだろうと思うんだけど、その中で楽しさが出てくる。
10 years have passed, and Keisuke has been put in charge of creating the transom in a part of a Japanese room. It is an item ordered by a client.
今回はどんな欄間になるんですか？
ミスクテといいまして、三角形がつながって、そこに地になったものに細かい葉っぱを入れていく。
This time, the basic structure consists of a series of equilateral triangles joined together. After this, the traditional Kumiko craftsmanship will begin. Kumiko craftsmanship, by joining together various blocks of wood, sliding doors and Japanese transom fixtures, are carefully fitted with adornments to create what we know as Kumiko. Using successive geometric patterns, along with various types of wood, an image resembling a scenic painting is born. It's a truly masterful craft. Nagano Prefecture, Nagano City, Sakare Fixtures Workshop. Here, youngsters are trying to pass the tradition to the next generation. Kumiko craftsman, Keisuke Matsubayashi. Keisuke looks up to his teacher, Mr. Eiichi Yokota, with 50 years of experience. Mr. Yokota is one of the 4 ministers of the Japanese Fixtures Exhibition Association, which rates Japan's best Kumiko craftsmen. He's a leading figure in the field. Keisuke, with a great teacher behind him, has been tasked to create a Japanese transom with a length of 1.8 meters. The piece will have a basic pattern called Mitsukude, which makes use of joined equilateral triangles. Kumiko craftsmanship does not typically use blueprints. The measurements are drawn into each piece of wood. Besides that, only a rough memo of the piece is drawn. How will the structure that holds the triangles be made? First, several planks of Japanese cedar sawn to the same thickness are prepared. A 2-level gap is then created in each piece of wood. With this gap at the center, an equilateral triangle with 60 degrees can be assembled, and an opening with 120 degrees also appears. These guiding lines are used to cut the gaps to a predetermined degree. After that, the cedar plank is fixed with some nails. With this, the gaps are carefully cut. The depth of the gaps is of utmost importance, so he cuts very carefully. He temporarily removes the guiding lines from the cedar wood. Now, he changes the sides and cuts in the opposite direction, making 2 intersecting lines. Through this process, the 2-level gap is created. The long planks with the 2-level gaps and the short planks with the gaps on both sides will be used to make the structure. To attach the parts, a glue made out of rice powder and water is used.
人それぞれあると思うんですけど、感覚ですよね。こんな感じかなぐらいの。
A small stick is used to apply the glue to the gaps. Finally, the structure begins to take shape. The longer planks with the 2-level gaps are placed diagonally, and the shorter planks with the gaps on both sides are placed vertically. Now, the longer planks are flipped and placed diagonally, so they make an intersection with each other. Furthermore, they are tapped from above to secure them in place. By repeating this process, a diamond-shaped pattern appears.
無理に叩いたり溝同士がちゃんと噛み合ってないとひどいことになりますけど。
When the diamond-shaped pattern is achieved, the structure is turned over. Then, in the middle of the diamond-shaped pattern, a gap appears. If we insert the remaining boards into the gaps, a successive triangle pattern appears. This is called mitsukude and is a basic pattern in Kumiko craftsmanship. If the wood is not sawn precisely, the pattern will not appear. This is how the Japanese transom is created. After this, we will embark into even more detailed work. Here, youngsters are trying to take tradition and culture into the future. Kumiko fixture craftsman Keisuke Matsubayashi. He is currently working on a 1.8 meter long Japanese transom. The mitsukude structure has been completed, and even more detailed work awaits. First, the frame that holds the structure together is built. Then, using the wooden piece with the measurements, the unnecessary parts are sawn off and the structure is placed inside the frame. It fits perfectly. This is glued together and metal fittings are used to keep it in place.
であとはいろんな種類の葉っぱを入れていきます。葉っぱ。
Leaves are Kumiko parts, made from small pieces of wood. By arranging these parts inside the structure, Kumiko craftsmanship shows off its numerous looks. To begin with, a hemp leaf design will be made. Keisuke has brought out a strange-looking wood shaving tool. It's a special shaving plane. To make the hemp leaf, the blade is shaped like a 120-degree V letter, but how is it actually used? With the 120-degree blade, the special shaving tool is used to carve into the wooden board. With another tool, a further incision is created at the center. Then, on the backside, the special tool is used again to completely separate both parts. The separated edges are now 60 degrees. With a 60-degree angle, the pieces will fit right into the wooden structure. These parts are then fitted inside the equilateral triangles. Moreover, a prop is fitted along the other piece, and a pattern begins to emerge. The props appear to be placed very nonchalantly.
2種類とかスパリの長さ変えて全部ちょうどいい硬さに入るようにこんだけの違いで 0.323とかです、一コマするとすごい数あるんで
全部出来上がって
終わったって感じですね。
Because the materials used are all natural, the expansion and contraction of the materials must also be taken into consideration. Using rice glue, the pieces are carefully and painstakingly attached to create the hemp leaf pattern. Next is the cherry blossom pattern. Trapezoid-shaped parts, alongside the hemp leaf pattern parts, are fitted inside the structure. This pattern is really hard to see in a scattered state. But as the parts increase, the cherry blossom pattern starts to emerge. Even in smaller projects, at least 600 leaves are used. These are all made by Keisuke and the other young craftsmen. This is the sesame seed tortoise shell pattern. Keisuke's disciple, Ms. Kojima, assembles each one by hand. She may spend around 1 month only making leaf parts. Among them, a piece called Yae Kikyo is made. With 3 pieces like this, they are formed into a triangle, and then the same triangle is placed over it. This work has transcended the word delicate.
だから最初の頃部品ですか、それを大量に作るじゃないですか。想像つかないですよね。もうこんなことするのかって思いましたけど。
Shortly, the project will be completed. Here, youngsters are trying to take tradition and culture into the future. Kumiko fixture craftsman, Keisuke Matsubayashi. Keisuke, who up until the age of 20 did not know his path in life, decided to work alongside his father, Mr. Setsuo, in the craft of kumiko. That being said, instead of learning from his father, he sought to become the apprentice of his father's teacher.
やっぱスピードもそうですし、正確さと綺麗さで、実際同じような仕事をやってみるとやっぱ同じようにはできないじゃないですか。そういうのを感じるとかなわないなとは思いますけどね。
Mr. Setsuo is currently working on a partition that will be used in a temple. He's using a type of cedar called shindai, which has been buried under the earth for over 1,000 years. The kumiko piece at the center is quite big. Furthermore, it's an extremely delicate design. Keisuke is chasing after his father, but he has yet to even see his back. The Japanese transom is fitted with different leaf patterns, and the piece is almost complete. He's cutting something with a very serious expression. This is called the yae pattern. In order to fit them at the edges of the transom, he's using a very small saw to split the piece in half. The wonderfully halved pieces are fitted into the edges without creating any gaps. This is called a half pattern design, in which the space is half filled with the hemp leaf pattern. The cherry blossom pattern at the edges is also fitted with split off parts. Every day at 3 in the afternoon, the workshop has a break. Side dishes from the Nagano area are served alongside tea. What kind of teacher is Mr. Yokota to Keisuke?
怒らないですけどね。
あ、そうなんですか。
あんまり声上げてあんま怒ったりしないんで、どう思ってんのかな、何を言いたいのかなっていうのがすごくあるんで、自分の中では怖い存在ですね。
Even after 12 years of training, he still gets nervous around his teacher. The transom has been completely filled. It's finally time for the finishing touches. The unevenness is shaved off. He shaves with diagonal movements to avoid breaking any pieces. Finally, after joining the outer frame, the work will be completed. The 2 pieces are joined together flawlessly. The unnecessary parts are chopped off with a saw. The final revision. And finally,
完成です。終わりです。
a completed 1.8-meter Japanese transom. The different patterns are beautifully displayed. How will his teacher assess his work?
こういう組手のところもね、ケチのつける仕事ではなくなって いいね。はい。いいですよ。
1段階目の喜びですかね、できた時に。でこれが、はまるべきところにはまるとまたもう一つ目の喜びっていうんですかね。
じゃあまたこれは途中ってふうに考えてもいいですか？
そうですね、一歩ゴールの一歩手前。
A young man that couldn't take a single step found a road in which he could finally walk, but that road is long and treacherous, and yet he has no choice but to keep walking, to open the door to tomorrow and get one step closer to his dreams.